to also use combo pieces throughout the game to survive and to further your draw power and stuff like that. He's
Yeah,
also saw it with Maligos Druid in the past.
exactly. Yeah, because the difficulty comes from being able to realize when to use your resources and when to hold on to them. And it sounds simple, but it's really the hardest part of the deck. And speaking of which, we're pretty much rushing through these early turns, as there's
Yeah.
already a Wild Heaven being played on Cheesehead's side, and Max has already played both switcheroos, I believe. Yes, we can still see them in the sidebar.
Yeah, and just to finish what you were saying, yes, it is very important to know when to do what. It seems very easy until you realize there is another player on the other side of the field trying to smash your head in, and that's what makes the game difficult.
Yep.
If else Boar Priest, easy deck in the game. I could probably get 100% win rate with it against the Innkeeper, but it's the other players, man.
Yep. And they also keep getting better, right? If they play more against your Boar Priest that you are trying to get better with, then they know more and more when to bait out what exactly, so that you're forced to do certain clears with the Pyromancer, with Cyrella. People have started to not even attack their opponents, so that Cyrella clears don't even get available, which is in fact exactly what we're seeing right here. And which is probably just the smartest thing to do for the Shaman to begin with, because you're just planning on getting a full board, playing that bioluminescence, and then burn them down from
Yeah.
30. You don't ever need to activate their Cyrella.
Yeah, let me see. Max, he plays one Light Bomb. That's it.
Yep.
And Light Bomb, like right now, it clears one minion. Whoop-de-doo.
Ooh, getting the discount on the Lightning Bolt. Interesting. Chose to not even play the far side first, which is also...
He probably wanted it on the far side, to be honest. It's more mana cheap.
Oh, reduced by 2 mana, right?
Yeah, but now you only cheat one.
Yeah. I'm thinking that because of the game plan that I just described of wanting to kill your opponent from 30, getting a discount on one of the burn spells is quite valuable. So I would have literally played that far side to get the guaranteed one on the lightning bolt, honestly. But Cheesehead going in a completely different line, wanting to play that Blade Master Okani, which makes lots of sense because it's disrupting your opponent even more. And with that bioluminescence top deck, this is looking like it's going to be a lot of pressure. There's being, what, 18 damage represented plus the 2 from the Okani, so 20. So a bioluminescence off the top would straight up just be lethal.
Yeah, and you know Cheesehead. I think this might just be something that Cheesehead learned literally today playing against Max. Since he won this match, he lost his matchup. So I think he might have just gone back like, okay, what could I have done differently that time, and adapted. It wouldn't surprise me if that's
Yep, but then again, we don't
the
know
case.
how close the game really ended up being, right? It could have also
True.
been very close on the edge.
And we do know that Max here is gonna draw a lot of cards.
Yep, basically their entire deck.
And he just dredged up another illumination.
Wait, the Illuminate dredged up another Illuminate?
Oh, sorry, another gift of the Noru.
Ah, I see.
Words are difficult. Ah, I've got COVID. That's what I'm gonna blame it on.
Fair enough. Oh, I actually like that Feral Spirit quite a lot if you're planning on burning them down with the bioluminescence. She's had considering whether they should go phase here with that staggered or not. as it will activate some Sarella shenanigans still, even with only 3 health being dealt, or 3 damage rather.
Ooh. Yeah, I was actually talking with Max this morning, and he was like, "Oh, good luck when you have to cast this." And I was like, "Yeah, I hope I don't have to, because I have no idea what's going on. Is Max winning? Is he losing? I do know that these frost stags are actually gonna be very annoying
Yep.
once you're actually trying to close out the game with the sword.
Yeah, because they can just freeze your face, and then good luck trying to attack with
Yeah.
your sword. But this is also where the Cyrella hero card tag comes into play, right? Because once you play that hero card, it unfreezes your hero. And then you might be able to attack with that sort of the Thousand Truths again. So depending on how things align all over the place, it might still work out. But they just have left the board, so no more staggards to be seen. But coming back to what you just mentioned, it's really hard to point your finger at where the game currently is at. But wow, wait, hang on. We're seeing the sword coming down right now. See, this is why I can't play this deck. I didn't even see that was a thing. Goodness.
Yeah, this deck is insane, and Max is insane. Well done, Maxvdp. Our casting was freaking worthless this game, but that was cool to see him win.
Yep.
Yeah, Max chooses to play the 1-3, which I think is interesting because that is one of the cards you can use to pop off with the Siren, but of course he doesn't have the Siren. And I think that's good. My internet keeps messing up. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, okay. So you play for the cards you have in hand, not the ones you hope you might have in hand.
Yep.
And that's what he's doing. So now he has the Spiteless Siren though, and that is when you are a little bit sad. Because you don't have any cheap Nagas anymore.
What's interesting to me though is that the Wildfire was also available on turn 1, right? And they
Yeah.
decided to go for the Slither Spear regardless, even though they could have played a Wildfire on turn 1, which would have done a similar thing, because Wildfire is also a cheap activator for the Siren, which now has been picked up twice, by the way, which is also not
Yeah.
something you want, really.
I was kind
No.
of looking at just playing one.
Exactly, that's what I was
What's your
looking at
opponent
as
gonna
well.
do? You've got a taunt in the way.
Yeah,
And then next turn you can play the second one. But
it just never dies, does it?
no. So what are we looking for? The top deck Slayer Spear?
Mm. Wait, yeah. I'm just reading up on some of the production stuff real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Max does decide to keep searching further for more stuff to be able to pop off with that Siren, which makes sense because there's no 1-mana Naga to go with since that Slither Spear has been played. So now the question becomes, will Max be able to pop off on turn 6? And it's hard for me to make out what that card on the far right is, whether that's a Gift of Azara or actually a Naga.
Yeah, I think judging from the shape of the card that it's
Yeah, it's the Gift of Azara, okay.
the spell. Since spells are more rectangular and minions are more curved. Yeah, it's the Gifts of Ashura.
So that means that it is not looking like Max will be able to pop off on turn 6 with both Sirens in hand. That's not really the state you want to be in. However, still sitting at 30 health, so nothing is going to
Yeah.
burn down just yet.
I think it's also like the Wildfire variant you can take a bit slower.
Yeah. You also got these board swing tools that the other version doesn't have, which is the Reckless Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
And the Mordredge once it's active. Just keep doing.
Okay, there
Oh,
we
Spell
go.
Coiler was there. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right.
That means we're popping off.
Wildfire Naga. Naga spell, Naga spell, Naga spell, Naga spell.
You didn't want to
spell.
play. Couldn't it? Couldn't you play the Treasure Guard and the Wildfire and then still play the Cone of Cold?
That now Cheesehead gets. Yeah. Which is why I don't agree with what Max was doing here.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, this could just happen. You know your opponent plays Blessing of Kings.
Yeah.
Now you need to play your second one, and you don't have any cheap Nagas left. Yeah, you only have the Treasure Guard, but that's not enough.
Exactly. That doesn't look.
We do have a Reckless Apprentice, so we can clean up the board a little bit.
The 3 damage hero power, so 1 minion is the
Mm.
only one that survives. It's probably still a good spot that Max is finding themselves in here.
Yeah, but that's mainly because he has double Wildfire. But here come the big boy.
Oh, the really big boy.
The Leviathan.
The big Leviathan.
Yeah, I think we just go Banana Man.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, I'm looking at Okani because if you the first minion they want to play when they pop off is the Siren, right?
Let me think.
I think it's also coming down to counting the damage with the Stonehub Vindicator here. But we are looking at 19 on the board right now, so there needs to be something done.
Ooh, we've got Magister Dawngrasp. Oh, that's of course why we picked the Cone of Cold as well. Just need to aim it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Oh.
big hero power. 5 damage, I think.
6, isn't it? Or was it?
It
was
starts
the
at
first
2,
one?
right? And it has 3 wildfires played on it.
Really? It's not too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, so it should be 5. You're right.
There's Mr. Smite though. Okay, Deep
Okay.
Breath might just be clutch here. I don't know how much damage it does. Art, can you hover over the Deep Breath for us? 4.
Yeah. You can power it
Yeah.
up with the Savara as well if you want to. If there's some
Yeah, of
way
course
to
it's
get a Leviathan.
flexible, but we wanted to do one more. Oh, there's more Dresh, so if we survive this one turn, then we can clear our entire opponent's board.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
And-
another Cone of Cold. That's clutch.
Yeah, the Cone of Coal was in there. So I think this is actually getting over the line now.
Max played this game so much differently than I would have. I would have played it. I really would have gone like, okay, let's pop off, you know? But he took it very conservatively. He knew like, okay, this is how we're gonna play. We're gonna play like hero power mage.
Exactly. Max is not really like playing their own game. They're more playing against their opponent, right? They're really
Yeah.
interacting with what their opponents are trying to do. And I think this is the smart way to approach it in this particular matchup.
Not a wildfire. But yeah, we can do a lot here. But this is gonna be more Dresh, and then it's gonna be GG.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man.
And that would mean Max is actually taking the crown today. If that will actually happen. And I don't see any way of putting a stop to that
course.
onslaught right now.
Neither do I, but it always it feels really bad when you say, "Oh, this is over," and then it isn't.
I mean, that's why we've got smarter players right here in the tournament, because they might be able to figure out a way that we don't see.
Like, Cheesehead is probably thinking, like, okay, if he has Mordresh in his hand, what will happen? Do you even play Mordresh here, or are you like, ah, fuck it, I'm winning anyway. I'm saving it in case things really go sideways.
I think the way Cheesehead is approaching is either they have Mordresh and this is GG, so how do I make it most likely that I can win this game if they don't have Mordresh, you know?
Which is probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Also the golden Mordresh, look at the flag.
Bam. Casually dealing 70 damage on one board, no problem.
And that's GG, and that means that Maxvdp from the Netherlands playing for MCon Esports wins.